So I have one image, three layers. How am I going to get this flag to map to that background image? Where do I need to go? Right now I'm going to ignore this shape layer because I don't want to do anything with it. I just want to take the texture of the background and apply it to that flag. So what I'm going to do that, I'm going to turn this flag off because I don't need it right now. All I see is this background. What I want to do is pull the texture out of this. To do that, you need to grab a channel. So I'm going to select my background layer, go to my channels, and find which one of those has the best contrast. I'm going to choose the red channel because I see more whites and blacks out of it. So you can see better contrast in the actual shapes that are up here. Better contrast means you're going to have better overall bending from one state to the next. The important thing here is to remember that if you duplicate your channel, which is what you need to do, you duplicate it to a new document. Because the displace filter only works if you have a separate file. A separate file is important to work with. I'm going to say OK. I could add contrast to this. I'm going to go to my curves tool. The shortcut is Control M, but apparently it's not working right now. And I'm going to add even more contrast in those rocks so that it's going to bend a little bit better. So I just say OK to that. You don't need to do this if you don't want to. It just makes the effect more pronounced. I need to save this out as a separate file. So I'm just going to save it as something random on my desktop. Don't need it anymore at this point, so I'm just going to go ahead and close it. So now I'm here. This is where I started. Where do I go from here? I need to select all my channels again so I can see everything. And then where did I want to apply this? I don't want to apply it to the same layer that I was on. I want to make the flag bend to the background. So if I turn that back on and select the layer, remember, very important to select that, otherwise you're going to be applying it to the wrong spot. I have my flag selected. I'm going to go ahead and go to Filter, Distort, Displace. Just leave these the same because I have the files are the same size. If they weren't the same size, I would say Tile. I am hungry. I just say Filter, Distort, Displace, and then OK. And you can kind of see it bending a little bit here and there. Looks a little funky, but let me go ahead and change the blending mode on this. Go to Overlay. You can see that it looks a lot more natural than it did initially. So without that, I'm going to take, actually, you know what, I'm going to take the color up all the way. I think that looks kind of cool. Paint it on there. If I go through and I adjust the blending mode, I can see a different effect on that. But the most realistic effect is probably going to be soft light, because I just passed over that one. Maybe color. No, I don't like that. Let's go with soft light. It's a nice light fill on the rocks there. So I'm going to take it back just a hair. And now you can see that it's overlaying this lady. I don't want that. What I want to do is either make a selection of her and mask it out, or be lazy and then use my alpha mask that was already built of the climber, and then apply that as an actual mask. Now that gave me the opposite effect of what I wanted. The flag is on her, you can see the star right there, but it is not on the rocks. So I'm going to select my layer mask here and flip it. Now she looks fine. She's climbing the American face of rock. And because she was already pathed out, I don't need to worry about any kind of overlap or any weirdness with her being an American rock flag, if that makes sense. So that is, for the most part, how you do it. Questions?